Chairman, thank you very much. Dr. Shulkin, Dr. Yahia, thank you very much for joining us today. I want to thank you for appearing before our Appropriations Subcommittee now about a month ago, and particularly thank you for the conversations that we had in my office prior to that hearing. I indicated then and would indicate now publicly that's the best set of conversations I've had with VA officials in the 7 years I've been a member of the United States Senate. So I find your leadership refreshing from what my experience has been. And I hope that, I guess I would ask that question, what's the attitude like at the VA today, different than it was in the past, in the short time that you've been there? What have you were there before being secretary, you're now there as a secretary. What's the VA like today in comparison to what it was last year or the year before or the year before that?
I think people have not come to the exact same conclusion that you have. I think that there are a lot of people still watching, and there may be some people that are hopeful and some people that are concerned about changes. And so whenever you're going through change and you're trying to make decisions quicker and create decisions that have been years in the decade and haven't been made, you're going to have some people that are anxious. So I think people are sitting and saying, I hope that this is the right direction, but there are a lot of people that are more cautious than you are.
Thank you for that honest answer. Let me suggest to you, Mr. Secretary, that one way that I think that all of us on this committee and members of Congress can be helpful to you is to continue the dialogue with us, to be responsive to our inquiries. Again, I think that's not been a practice in the past. In often circumstances that I've been in, the requests that we ask for information end up with a standard form letter that tells us next to nothing, and at best you can say you responded because you sent me a letter, but it didn't tell me anything about what I was asking about.
If you get those letters, send them back, because I agree, it's just a waste of the postage stamp.
I appreciate that, and again, I would say, and when it comes to the choice program, which I think will be perhaps the most important piece of legislation this committee considers in the foreseeable future, with the greatest level of consequences to veterans in Kansas and across the country, that I would ask for your commitment that this is going to be a joint effort with VSOs. I asked you when we first met, before your confirmation, that you quickly meet with veteran service organizations and solicit their input and have honest dialogue with them. I would ask you to do the same thing with us as we try to figure out what makes sense. This committee represents a set of different geography and different set of circumstances that I think we can bring to the table in trying to solve problems from our largest cities to our smallest towns.
Yep. We're starting where Senator Tester started us, which is that the choice program...
Now I'm nervous.
No. No, he's right. The choice program was not working for veterans the way that it should. And you were instrumental, Senator Moran, in pointing that out to us all along. So this is now a journey, and I have to tell you, we have been engaging the VSOs. We've been in listening sessions. We've changed this plan a half dozen times because of their feedback. And I think even Senator Murray is going to find that we're going to be open and responsive to concerns. So we're looking for that type of relationship with you.
I appreciate that. For example, I learned something about the choice program almost every day, certainly every week, in conversations with veterans and conversations with healthcare providers. I completed another round of 127 visits, one to each hospital in the state of Kansas, where I learned things about the choice program that I probably should have known, but it never occurred to me the way it was operating, at least from that provider's perspective. And again, I think all of us here can provide information that can be helpful in getting a choice program that serves our veterans well. Let me, in response to Senator Murray's question, you said something that caught my attention. This will not be an unfettered choice program.
Yep.
And I wanted to give you the opportunity to explain to me and to the committee what that means.
Yeah. There are some that have suggested that the very best approach is just give veterans a card, a voucher, and let them go wherever they want to go. And I think that there are some significant concerns about that. And you're going to see this proposal is not that. This proposal is to develop a system that is designed for veterans, that coordinates their care, and gives them the options when it's best for in the VA and when it's best in the community. Unfettered choice is appealing to some, but it would lead to, essentially, I believe, the elimination of the VA system altogether. It would put veterans with very difficult problems out into the community with nobody to stand up for them and to coordinate their care. And the expense of that system is estimated to be, at the minimum, $20 billion more a year than we currently spend on VA healthcare. So for all those reasons, I am not recommending that we have unfettered access. At some point in the future, if you design the system right, giving veterans complete choice, I believe in principle is the direction we should be headed in, but not in 2017.
Mr. Chairman, I would conclude by indicating to Secretary Shulkin, and with my appropriators hat on, we cannot afford to provide two different systems of service. They can't.
That's right.
They can't overlap with each other. They've got to find the place in which they have a purpose. We can't afford to do both.
Yes, I agree.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.